Hello and welcome back to This Week in Biotech. Today I'm covering edition 56, covering latest news in biotech and pharma from June 6th to June 12th, 2025. So yesterday, the FDA approved UroGen Pharma's Zusduri, the first non-surgical drug approved for patients with recurrent low-grade, intermediate risk, non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. Historically, these patients have faced repeated surgeries, sometimes under general anesthesia. So this outpatient alternative is a real shift in care. In the trial that led to approval of this drug, nearly 8 in 10 patients achieved a complete response, and the majority remained disease-free for at least a year. UroGen's pharma stock was up yesterday. When I recorded this video, it was up 42%, and on a 5-day basis, almost 100%. So on Monday, the company's stock was worth about $5 per share, and now it's over $10. Yesterday, Senators Bernie Sanders and Angus King also introduced legislation to ban all direct-to-consumer drug advertising from TV to TikTok. This echoes long-standing concerns from HHS Secretary RFK Jr. and could shake up how pharma reaches patients. With over $5 billion spent on TV ads last year, much of it for GLP-1s like Ozempic and Wegovy by companies like Novo Nordisk, the bill directly challenges one of the industry's biggest visibility tools. And legal challenges based on free speech are likely to follow. And it's also important to mention that this is not the first attempt to ban direct-to-consumer advertising by Big Pharma. Gilead faces clinical hold on key HIV trials. The company hit a little bit of a snag this week as the FDA placed a clinical hold on its phase 2-3 HIV trials, Wonders-1 and Wonders-2. These trials test a once-weekly oral combo of integrase inhibitor GS-1720 and capsid inhibitor GS-4182. And this was because some patients experienced unexpected drops in CD4 T cells. Gilead's shares fell only about 2 to 3%, and analysts from Citi and Oppenheimer regard the setback as a minor slip, stressing that Gilead's broader HIV franchise, anchored by Biktarvy and lenacapavir injection, remains robust. My take is that it's not a total disaster. I think that there are some questions that remain about safety, but the company's overall outlook isn't derailed, and I think that they'll bounce back once the FDA has clarity. Next is RFK's shakeup of the CDC vaccine panel. So on June 9th, RFK Jr. removed all 17 members of the CDC Vaccine Advisory Committee panel, citing conflicts of interest. Just 3 days later, so Wednesday night, he appointed 8 replacements, including outspoken critics of mRNA vaccines. The new panel will meet on June 25th to weigh in on COVID-19 vaccines for the upcoming respiratory season. Public health experts have slammed the move as politically driven and dangerous at a time when vaccination rates are already slipping. And yesterday morning, Endpoint News reported that 2 of RFK Jr.'s new picks for the CDC vaccine panel were previously paid experts witnesses in lawsuit against Merck over its HPV and MMR vaccines. Next is Vaxart's norovirus vaccine data. The company shares soared over 28% after reporting strong phase 1 data for its next-gen oral norovirus vaccine. The new candidates triggered significantly stronger immune responses with a favorable safety profile. With phase 2b trials coming next, Vaxart is positioning itself at the front of the race for an oral vaccine in a field where no vaccines are currently approved. Novo Nordisk just signed another deal in the cardiometabolic space, this time partnering with a lesser-known company called Deep Apple Therapeutics. The deal is worth up to $812 million and focuses on developing small molecules that act on non-incretin GPCRs. If that sounds technical, here's what it means. Instead of targeting GLP-1s or GIP like Wegovy, and Ozempic do, this partnership is exploring brand new pathways for treating obesity and related diseases. What makes Deep Apple interesting is their tech. They use AI-generated virtual libraries and structural biology to screen for potential oral drugs more efficiently. Novo clearly sees promise in their platform, and honestly, it fits a broader pattern. Novo has been aggressively locking up oral drug candidates all year. In fact, this is their sixth cardiometabolic deal in 2025, and it signals a future beyond injectables. The company isn't just chasing the GLP-1 boom, but it's trying to own the next chapter on how metabolic diseases are treated. So that's all for this week. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Be sure to check out the rest of the edition 56 of This Week in Biotech. And if you still want to listen to the AI-generated podcast, you can find it toward the end of the episode. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.